Well, raise your hand if you constantly have a kink in your neck, or maybe that you suffer from, chronic back pain, headaches, even the so-called tennis elbow. I've had that a few times. All of these ailments and so many others keep us from, doing the things that we love. My next guests today have a new product that can offer some needed relief. Joining me, Tom Turner, the founder of MassageBlocks.com products, and joining him is Teresa Paulson, Regional Director of NovaCare Rehab. And welcome to both of you. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
MassageBlocks.com.
Yeah.
What are these things, Tom?
Well, so my background, I had some back pain, and I was in therapy, and I was told to use tennis balls. And tennis balls are great, but they're not designed for the purpose of targeting specific muscles. So I started talking to therapists and saying, is there a better option? Is there something, if you had something that was designed, would you be interested? And they were very interested.
So this came from your own experience?
It came from my own experience, absolutely. And so I started working in wood and developed some tools. I did.
It sounds painful.
It was. I actually used pool balls for a while. But you want something that's pretty strong, because if those muscles, and particularly in the low back, get into a hypercontraction, that's a lot of force that is required to get those muscles to loosen up, and these things really accomplish that well.
Well, we're going to have a live demonstration in a few moments. And Teresa, you're the one who's going to be doing this. As a rehabilitation therapist, how do you use these and see the benefit?
Well, Tom and Tom walked into one of our clinics, and the therapist there said, "Where have you been all my life?" Because we have given strange things to patients to relieve these trigger points in their necks, backs, elbows, everywhere along their body. So we use them in conjunction with physical therapy to relieve the muscles, so then the person can actually rehabilitate themselves to get back to the strength and flexibility that they need to get their job done, to play their sport, to those types of things. Especially for someone like Tom, who had chronic back pain, he couldn't strengthen his back because it hurt too much to do the strengthening exercises. But once he relieved the muscles with his little tools here, he was able to then do the fitness program that was necessary for him to get back to doing what he wanted.
So you do it for your patients, but can somebody do it themselves?
Absolutely. So that we're doing a demonstration here today that'll be on a massage table, but these are things that you use at home, and I use them at home. Knock on wood, my back pain has been gone for years through strengthening and stretching and a whole complement of things. But these tools, I was a computer programmer for many years. I would go into a conference room and use them so that I could get back to my desk and continue to work, and so I wouldn't have to, take time off of work, which the hours that people take off work right now are it's criminal.
And here are some of the ways that massage blocks help. And I know the other Tom is here, and we're going to start our demonstration. So Tom, come on up, get on the table, and as Tom heads up there, Teresa, tell me a little bit about NovaCare.
We have 15 locations here in the Columbus area. We're a national company out of Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. So we provide physical therapy, occupational therapy, return to work programs, the whole gamut of physical therapy. And this is one tool that we use in our programs to help people get back to sports, work, whatever they want to.
And there's all your locations around Central Ohio. Okay, I'm holding one of these. I'm glad you came a long way from wood, Tom. Let me just say. But they are hard, tight plastic, so I can see, but they're still a little more bendable.
Yeah.
Right, so they're comfortable.
It's a synthetic rubber, is what we say, non-latex synthetic rubber, and it is the right hardness to be able to apply the pressure that you want.
All right, so Tom's going to lay back here, and Tom is the marketing guru.
This is really the back kit. So you're there. The mic doesn't get in the way. Just lay back.
There you go.
There. Yep. And basically what we're doing is putting it along the spine and releasing the trigger points that are there. And if he couldn't handle that much pressure, we could bend his knees up. We could put him underneath a pillow, something so it's, not as much pressure with somebody who first gets on these. They are hard.
Right.
So we want to make sure they have the proper relief without causing pain.
And if anybody's had a deep tissue massage, they know it's an intense experience, but they also know what happens when they get done.
Right, how good they feel. So, Tom, how does this feel to you?
Feels good. Yeah. Feels like I'm working into the muscles. This was actually the first tool that helped me become a believer in the products. I thought they looked awesome when I first saw them, but as a person who carried a computer bag, I would often tweak my low back, and when I did that, I was able to use the low back kit to relieve my muscle tension.
So that's just an example of how they can be used.
Absolutely.
How are some of these bigger ones used?
This is the Sub-Occipital kit, and he's going to get a double treatment here.
Best day of work ever.
So we put it here. This is great for tension headaches, upper back pain, people over computers all the time.
Well, they could just lay like this in their house, on a floor, on a flat surface, and they could feel relief.
Absolutely.
Wow.
You also can get very creative if you have problems at work and you're in the middle of your workday and you're starting to get one of these headaches. I've had patients, break out the break room and say, get out of my way, and move the conference table and lay down on it. Or
when you feel pain, you feel pain, right?
Up against walls. I mean, you can be very creative about how you use them. And that's the thing, as a therapist, we don't want to see someone forever, but they may have chronic pain where they have to come back and come back to therapy. This is a self-treatment at home that we use in the clinic to help show them how to relieve their symptoms.
And quickly, how can folks get these, Tom?
Well, one thing, they can go into NovaCare locations, and the therapist will show them real quickly how to use the tools, make an assessment, determine if they can help them, and then also go through a further analysis and determine if they need more treatment. You can also go to massageblocks.com website and buy the product
been on
there.
our screen.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Hope you feel better.
Feel great.